Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the Voice of Eve. Our topic today is women and public relations. Please stay tuned with us. We will soon be back. Public relations is said to be the art of living. Unfortunately, it is one of those professions we still need to fully understand so we can maximally exploit its great benefits. For instance, women in their quest for more gender equity opportunities, greater participation, showcasing their social and community responsibilities, need public relations. They also need public relations in their quest for more leadership opportunities and greater recognition. Certainly, more patronage of public relations can help the cause of women. In the episode today, you'll get to hear from some of the icons and experts in the profession. They will educate us more. So please join us and watch. I am Dr. Violet Arene. Welcome back. If you are just joining us for the first time, this is the Voice of Eve. We have before us today one of the icons, a woman who is so important to the quest of women in our country today. She is Nkechi Ali Balogun, a communications expert, a public relations consultant, an author, a minister of the Lord, and an accomplished woman in many directions. It is my real pleasure, Madam, to have the privilege to interview you today.
And it is a real privilege for me to talk with you face to face. I mean, this is really a privilege. Thank you.
You are obviously a very accomplished woman. May I know what is the secret behind your success?
The secret to my success, in all modesty, is God.
Thank you.
I cannot say this is person that helped me do this or helped me do that. God has always been there for me. The Holy Spirit has always guided me. I've made mistakes. I have gotten successes here and there. But through it all, God has brought me this far. And I've been in public relations now for over 20 years. I have made my mistakes, like I said. I've not been daunted by challenges. When I make a mistake, when I fall, like the Bible says,
you rise.
I rise.
Yes.
I rise, knowing that I will still make it. So I don't give up, because I have a goal to be a highly referenced PR woman in the country.
You are an expert in the area that we need most today for women in Nigeria, and that is public relations. There are many women in that profession, I mean the public relations profession, but there doesn't seem to be enough services of public relations for Nigerian women, for self-promotion, for salesmanship, if you like. And I want to know why.
Well, the answer is simple, and I'll go straight to the point without sounding immodest. For you to take advantage of a particular situation, you must know about that situation. A lot of people talk about public relation, and even some experts, professionals, would describe public relation and say what it is not. You are not able to take full advantage of public relations because a lot of people do not have a proper grasp of what public relation is. So they do not have an in-depth knowledge of what the advantages are in PR. Some women think that public relations mean being in the public glare. Well, maybe to some extent, because it is not you being in the public glare. It is about what you are doing, your activities, your achievements being in the public glare. Of course, it is also about you relating to the public. Now, it is not about you taking a picture with the public and being in the first pages of the newspaper. All right? It is about what you are doing with those publics that warrants you being in the pages of the newspaper. So, but here we have turned it around that, oh, once a woman is in the front page of a newspaper, that is PR. So I must say, again, I say, pardon my modesty, that the reason why the women are not maximizing the advantages they could get from public relations is because they do not know what public relations is all about.
What do you think this omission, if I may call it so, will do to the aspiration of Nigerian women for elective success and even for leadership distinction?
Well, the consequences, as far as I'm concerned, is very grave, could be very grave. When it comes to achievement, that is having property, material well-being and all that, yes, you reckon with women. But when it comes to governance in this country, how far have we gone? That is the main issue. A lot of women have public relations PAs and all that, but actually what they have are errand girls and errand boys. People they send to one person to say, oh, I want to be in the first page of the newspaper. Oh, let them come, my daughter is wedding, let them come and take pictures. We are leaving the main issues. So for as long as we leave those pertinent issues, issues of governance, issues of women inclusion, issues of gender mainstreaming, and pursue other things that has to do with self, we are still going to remain where we are. Women are educated in this country. We have highly educated women who can give men a run for their money. But then we are pursuing little things. We women, have we really agreed, or have we really decided on where we are going? Because it is only when we have decided and say, this is where we are going, then a PR expert can come and begin to walk with that particular direction where the women are going. But when we have pockets of women who have individual goals,
that's it.
Individual goals that do not concern the other woman. There are very, we've been talking about women inclusion, women this, women. There are very few women who have the interests of all women at heart. Do we really have a goal? Are we really sure we have an advocacy going on? Because what I see today is every woman for herself. I want to be a minister. I want to be this. I. All right? And that is the respect I have for the First Lady, for instance. You can pencil her name down to say she has been able to fight for women inclusion. She could have done more. She could have done more if women actually gathered and said, this is what we want. But where we come out and say we want something, but we go back home, by the time the men give us little gifts, send us abroad, promise us promotions and the rest, we renege on the promises made in the gatherings. I was one of those that was particularly disappointed during the last election. A female who has been coming out for the presidential election came out and nobody, no woman voted for her. So what are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Yeah.
What are we talking about? Are we prepared? This is a crusade. How many women are these so-called women mentoring? Because we're talking about PR. PR is about what you are doing. All right? What exactly can bring a woman out? Again, with all due respect, I'm not sure it's because all the faces you've been interviewing, it's not because you've been seeing them on the pages of newspapers.
No.
It is because you identify with the little achievements they have been making. What are we going to identify these women with? Am I going to start publicizing you because you dress well? Or because you wear the most expensive diamond on your neck? Or because when you go to your village, you go with 10 cars? No. But I will be able to bring you to public glare through public relations because of the work you are doing, because of the advocacy you are doing, because of the relationship you have with your community, because of the empowerment you are giving to women in your village, because of the interactions, because of the enlightenment programs, the awareness, the wellness activities you are carrying out. So those are the things that will bring you out. So it's not like a lot of us don't want to profile our women. We want to, but we want to know where they are going and how they want to get there.
What counsel do you have for Nigerian women regarding the public relations challenge, for self-promotion, for salesmanship, if you must call it so?
I think in my own little way that just like the Beijing conference, we need a Nigerian conference where women will have to re-articulate what they want.
Thank you.
Re-articulate in the sense that we've done it. We have experts, professors, we've done it. Women have been crying. I have so many NGOs that I relate with, all right? But we have to sit down again to say, how far are we willing to go? Because we have all our goals, we have all our missions, we have all our visions, we have all the things we want to achieve. But how far are we willing to go to achieve these things? How much are we willing to sacrifice? How much selflessness are we willing to render? Are we able to forego so many things around us to be able to make sure that women in this country rise up? That is the issue right now.
Thank you so much. You have given us a lot of enlightenment. I will call it enlightened enlightenment, coming from the expert on a very, very pertinent and critical issue. And I hope our women will run with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is the Voice of Eve. Our topic today is women and public relations. We are privileged to have with us in the studio today some icons and experts in the profession. They will educate us. Barrister Jide Ologu, Chairman, Institute of Public Relations, Lagos Chapter. We are delighted to have you here today.
Thank you.
You are also a public analyst.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Mrs. Ifeoma Mbuk, Customer Care Consultant, and also an expert in public relations. We are delighted to have you here today.
Thank you, madam.
You are both very welcome. We have before us a very, very interesting and a very, very important subject, public relations, which is said to be the art of living. Unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of misunderstanding about public relations. We need to hear from you. What exactly is public relations? Barrister Jide.
Public relations, in clear terms, is a deliberate and planned effort to establish and sustain mutual understanding and goodwill between an organization or a client and its publics. And when we talk about publics, you can have many publics. For instance, the government can be your public, your employer, your employee, suppliers, and if you want to move it to the art we're talking about, it is the art and social science of analyzing trends and predicting their consequences and suggesting planned programs that can be implemented to ensure that you serve the benefit of the organization and the publics. And this is what came out in 1978, the Mexican Statement. And you will realize that it has to be objective, it has to be deliberate, it has to be planned. And it's about mutual understanding. And where you don't have mutual understanding, you can only break down in your business. So you must win your heart to the success you are achieving. You must be passionate to ensure that all those who have stake in your business are on the same page with you.
It's wonderful. We never knew it was so involving. Is Ifeoma, is that your understanding of public relations too? It sounds so profound. What do you have to add to that?
Public relations is all about reputation management. Every organization, big or small, interacts with their customers, just like you said, their publics. It could be their customers, the investors, the government, it could be people in journalism. All these, as they interact with the business or with the individual, they form their impressions. Their perceptions help them to decide whether to continue to do business with this individual or this organization.
But do you think that women who need a lot of, to reach a lot of publics, when you have a case to make, you have to reach many publics or many stakeholders. Do you think women are aware of the benefits of public relations in their course?
Well, I think some women, especially those of them in the corporate organizations, they know, the impact that public relations have on their careers. And, those are the ones that are confident. I mean, they don't stay in their comfort zones. They know what it takes. And of course, you have to be really, really qualified, and you have to know your onion. And of course, to seek high positions also, because they know the impact of public relations. All eyes are watching on them, and they must strive to succeed. Because their performance will be their results will be measured by the performance, for their performance. So for some of those women, yes, I can say confidently that they know the impact of public relations for them in their profession. Of course, there are other women that sit back, who feel that they're not good enough, and who prefer to stay at the back room and not to sit at the table and face the men. For those people, they do not know the impact that public relations could have.
Yes,
for them.
Maybe to upgrade them, they don't know. Very good. Well, we are privileged to have a man in our midst here who has been watching the women's struggles. Barrister Jide Ologu, you have been watching us in all our pronouncements, agitations. Do you think that women, top women, lower women, grassroots, everybody, do we think we know the benefits of public relations? And do you think, what is your rating of our patronage so far, as a man looking at us?
I will advise women that you can achieve more. And I want all women to be strategic. And strategy is a long-term plan for success. Let's look at the first woman God created, Eve. And we are talking about the voice of Eve here. Eve was so strategic that she got Adam involved in a transaction. That is public relations. There was mutual understanding. And I want to leave Eve behind and move to Esther. The life of Esther is amazing when you study it. This is a lady who, as we study her on a daily basis, got a king who was a fearsome king to offer her up to half of his kingdom. What did she do to connect with the power of the king, with the authority of the king? We call that lobbying in public relations. So women must bring out their best. Women should stop fighting for success, begging for success, waiting for success. Women should reach out for success.
What gives you the impression that women should reach out, that they should stop begging?
You see, when we talk about begging, It's not in the literal sense.
Okay.
And I think we are addressing a wider group now. When we are at programs like this, we are not just looking at peripheral achievements. I believe that women are beginning to focus at the central seat in Nigeria, the seat of the presidency. And that is why I'm talking the way I'm talking.
Yes.
That if you show what you have, you will attract the right support you need. And that is public relations. All right, so if you know, let's excite ourselves a bit. When you spell woman, what does it stand for? The W stands for wonderful.
Yeah.
Does an average woman know that she's wonderful?
Yeah. Just say it slowly so that everybody can take it. W stands for wonderful.
Wonderful. The O for overwhelming.
I hope everybody is listening. W stands for wonderful.
Exactly.
Women, W, wonderful.
The
Come
O
on.
for overwhelming.
The O for overwhelming.
Yes, the M for magnificent.
M for magnificent.
A for, you can complete that. And the N for new always.
N for new always.
Exactly. So find out what the A should be. I'm giving the women this assignment. You see,
A should be admirable.
fantastic.
A should be admirable.
But
And N should be new always.
Exactly.
Very good.
But I have said it once. If you don't first win the battle in your mind, you will lose it externally.
This is wonderful.
There is a need for transformation within women. Women are doing great, but I just want to challenge them that they should roll away all those limitations. Anytime you start hearing impossible, separate the I am from the possible and say, I am possible.
Ifeoma, is that what you say too?
That's what I say too.
You see, I see where he's coming from. You know, he's made a very pertinent point now, which you can take on. Do we truly need transformation within us?
Oh, yes.
The battle must be won within us.
Yes. We need to, as I said earlier, come out of our comfort zones. We need to believe that we have the capabilities. We need to believe that we're good enough. We do not have to be perfect from day one, but we must realize, that we need to take action and not to sit back and complain.
Another election is on the way. By now, women should focus on analyzing. That is one thing about
Thank you.
public relations.
Thank you.
How far have we come?
Yes.
I stand to be corrected. I think more women travel out of the country on shopping to Dubai. When they return, what are they saying out? Is it that how can we step up? Or do we just wait for men to roll out the policies? And I respect the likes of Okonjo-Iweala and all of them. They've come out to say we must make things happen in our own country. If women group and begin to speak, the power of the media is there, and begin not to focus on problems. The focus here now is for women to realize that this world belongs to man and woman. And of course, men are so wonderful that if they see women making great things happen, they also want to enjoy. So let's come together, form groups, stop the backbiting. We all have limitations. If someone is bold enough to take the lead, support her. And these are some of the secrets of men.
Yes.
Exactly. Men, most of times, we rally around each other and ensure that if I can get it, if you can get it, let me support you to get it.
Very good.
And women should
do this.
Tap into that. Yes. And they will realize that the sky is not even the limit. It's just the beginning.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful having you here because we are all listening. We have two women here. Ifeoma, do you agree with what he said? Do you disagree with anything?
Well, I agree with what he said. If you have a trumpet, you blow it.
Yes.
If you don't blow it, that means you don't know how to blow it. So nobody's going to fight for the women. Yes. They have to fight for themselves.
Thank you very much. Barrister Jide Ologu, thank you so much. Bringing your wealth of knowledge and experience and expertise to this discussion.
Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you. Mrs. Ifeoma Mbok, thank you so much for coming here, presenting your own solid views on the need for women to get together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your participation, and I know we'll move on from here. I will thank you all for listening to this very, very pertinent, very interesting, and very critical discussion on public relations for women. There is no doubt that the point has been made clearly. More patronage of public relations and what it stands for will help to advance the cause of women. Join us again next week for another strategic subject.